All right, let's do that. I dropped it down yet again. And what am I in? All right, that seems pretty much 12-second delay. It's not bad at all. Yeah. All right, great. There's that, which is fine. Do I do the whole show over again? No, I don't. So last on the docket for today. Yep, I might be leaving LA and taking the whole family with me. Slightly faster. Did Evan get back here? Man. I'm going to wait till Evan's in here because he apparently... I thought he knew. I thought he was the one... I don't even know. Alright. Yay, you're back. Alright, good. Everyone's in. We're good. Well, Ryan, I don't know if Ryan made it back, but whatever. Yeah, so there's a very, very high possibility that, yeah, we might be moving from Los Angeles to Atlanta, Georgia. I was offered a job. So a job that I don't know how much I can say right now. Like, I don't know if I'm not supposed to be saying anything, but a job that I have worked quite a bit. Not exactly the position I've worked, but a company I've worked for, production I've worked for, a TV show, is moving from Los Angeles to Atlanta. They're packing up the entire production, taking everything to Atlanta, and they have offered a position to me if I want to move out to Atlanta. They have not yet given me a few of the details to really consider this totally yet, and it's not a sure thing that I am, even though the one person who offered it to me really likes me and is a strong contender for getting me on board, he is not the last say on it. So there are other people. So even if I say yes, it's not necessarily a done deal yet. Probably is, but I don't know. It would happen, he said, July 1st, if not sooner, which corresponds almost exactly with our Michigan trip when Amanda and the girls and I are supposed to go to Michigan. So, if this went down, I would not go to Michigan. I would go straight to Atlanta to find a house or something to rent. I would probably drive out, with all the pets, I guess, as Amanda thinks I should drive out with the pets. And then they would pack up the house. I mean, I guess I would stay here and pack up the house as much as I can. We'd put it in like one of those giant shipping pods and have that thing sent by, I guess they do a train run or something. Have that sent to that new location. So yeah, it's like 8 weeks. So I'm hoping to get the rest of the details today and an official decision made in the next couple of days. It's intense. So the one thing Atlanta's really got going on is that the housing rates are a lot cheaper. For what we're renting, basically it's a 2.5 bedroom. It's a 2-bedroom and an office. We could get a 4-bedroom house with a giant yard if we were renting. If we were mortgaging, we could probably get something even better. It's got to be a load full of stuff to take care of. Yeah, there's a lot to consider. We would probably get rid of just about all the furniture, and we have to. Yeah, we've already started looking at the school systems. Basically, our thought process is that since this is when Betty would be starting her school career is this year, so we would move specifically to a school, not not like to an area that's super cool for me to commute necessarily, but we're looking for the best schools in that general area, and we would move into that area. It was, man, yesterday was so crazy and emotional. I was like in this weird shock kind of daze of like, I don't know if this feels unreal or too real, but like I felt dizzy and kind of nauseous about the whole possibility of it because it's just so ominous. It's like Amanda basically put it best, where it's like, you know, what are we even doing here right now? I'm not really working. I'm just getting by with like this Instacart thing and Fiverr and stuff like that, and I'm not getting production jobs. So it's not like I'm living any kind of dream, and we're struggling and we're on assistance and it's crappy. Molly says, I know it has to be very surreal and emotional. Yeah, Amanda said she cried immediately, like after hearing about it, because it was just so much to take in. Uh, it's not a sure thing that I'm getting the job. Um, so yeah, there are other possible candidates. So I don't know for a fact that even if I said yes, I would get it. And I have yet to get. God, why is it taking so long to get the rest of the details on this? It's driving me a little nuts that they're so slow about this. So I'm really worried they're gonna like offer me an amount of money that's like just not good enough, to the point where it's like, yeah, I could do that, but then the struggle we had here would basically be translated to a struggle we have there, just a little better, Like, I'm like, is it going to be worth it at that point? No. 1st of July, I'd had to be. I'm sure they're going to figure this out within days, because they need to know these things before the 1st of July. That's when the move would happen. Like, that is July. Like, July is when they're going to start doing stuff. So I would have to be there already. So it's a lot. And really, they need to get this figured out in the next 2 days. I know you're not exactly ready to move, and changes are... Yeah. It's so intense. But until I get to, the trigger on it, it's all just kind of fantasy, really. There's like a lot of planning, kind of, but it's like, how much do I invest in this? I'm really kind of hoping, because I did put a resume in somewhere else. I really just hope that other company is like, hey, by the way, maybe this would be enough. Like, I'd kind of like to be able to say no to the Atlanta move, but it's really hard at this point, if the numbers make sense, to think that would be a reality. So on the flip side, the bright side, the good parts about it, yeah, the housing market, we would be able to get a lot more house and land for what we're paying, even less. And it's on the rise. So, as Atlanta gets bigger and better, those housing things go up. It could time out with the bubble bursting in Los Angeles, and we could switch back at some point. Who knows? That's the dream Amanda has, but I don't know how soon that kind of bubble would happen, or the bursting of that bubble in Los Angeles would happen. The housing rates out here are just crazy. It's freaky because I know Amanda knows like one or two people, and I think I know one person in Atlanta. So that's, I would know a good amount of people who I would be working with. I assume a good amount of people from production are actually moving over, but I did talk to a few people who are currently in the Los Angeles office that are definitely not, which is another consideration. So it's TV show, so they have a contract that renews every September, which is 3 months after the move. There is this slight tremor of fear that I accept it. We move out there. They start this production with, let's say, 50% of the original crew, 50% new crew, and it's just a god-awful mess, and they can't get it together, and the network cancels the contract in September. It's a very possible thing. What then? Like I was like, maybe I should just go for 3 months, make sure the contract renews before you guys all come out here. And Amanda's sort of counter to that was Betty would need to already be in school by then. So what's worse? Like, oh no, we're stuck in Atlanta, or Betty starts a new school in Los Angeles, and then 2 months later starts a new school in Atlanta. And I'm like, yeah, that's a formative experience, like life experience, I guess. I guess that would be the, worst, definitely for her. And that could really mess things up. So it looks like if we're doing it, we're all doing it. Now, to the benefit, I'm coming to Atlanta. I'd be coming to Atlanta with, 15 years of Los Angeles production experience. And from the sound of it, that's gold in Atlanta, because so many productions are moving there, but there's so few production people there. That basically the shows like Walking Dead and like all the Tyler Perry productions, they bring in people who have done something once. And then, that's it. Whereas if I show up with like a resume full of Hollywood, they'll be like, yeah, we're going to bring this guy on. He's done this before. He knows what he's doing. Hopefully. I mean, I don't know what the live streaming game's like out there, but that would be nice if I could actually turn it into a career over there. So there's that. I think the cost of living compared to Los Angeles is pretty much the same, but the cost of, housing is better. It's not quite as liberal. Hey, Meech, welcome. What's going on? We're just talking about there's a good chance that I will be leaving Los Angeles and moving to Atlanta. It would be July, if not sooner. So yeah, I have not officially gotten the. So it's a job. I have not gotten the official job proposal. I have not been accepted officially for the position, but there are a few things. Like the guy who asked me has basically advocated for me to get 2 other positions. So it's like, depending on how much of his call it is, it's pretty solid that, if they're not lowballing me, that it'll make sense. Why Atlanta? The production already has a headquarters in Atlanta, and we've been relaying. All our talent is in Atlanta, and they just relay into Los Angeles and record there. So it's kind of, on the one side, it's like they already invested however much money in that system, and I don't think it costs them anything to. I don't know. Maybe there is a cost to using it aside from just internet. But they bought all that equipment. But I mean, it's also wrought with like technical difficulties. Whereas if we're in the same studio space, it would be 100 times easier to produce that show. And also Atlanta has a lot of big tax cuts and breaks for productions, new productions, and stuff like that. So I'm sure that's part of it. And I think it's probably just cheaper in general to do a production in Atlanta. like rent and all that is a quarter of the price. Well, not a quarter, like a quarter less, like 3/4 of the price of Los Angeles. So I'm sure that's thousands of dollars a month when you're talking about the size of a space the studio is. Um, so yeah, it's all money. I'm pumped. Would you ever? Well, hopefully is kind of the. Amanda is pretty sure we would end up coming back. I'm a little less sure that we would end up coming back. But yeah, Georgia is a very red state. Although Atlanta is such a big city, it's definitely a more liberal area than the rest of the state. It is a concern of mine because I am not a very, I don't blend well with the red so much. So this is a real good chance of one running with the cops and the next day I'm cutting my hair off for the rest of my life. Like, nope, that's it. I don't look like this anymore. It would be emotionally devastating for a good amount of time because, I've a big support system. I have a lot of friends here, and yeah, like I said, I know like maybe one person in Atlanta. The flip side of that is I would be, a lot closer to friends I had in Pennsylvania and my mom and stuff. And I do have cousins in Florida that I never talked to. There's that. And Amanda would obviously be closer to Michigan. I think it's like a good 10 to 12 hours to get to either Michigan or Philadelphia from there, which we could legitimately drive. I mean, we talked about it with the kids. It's not a done deal, so we haven't, said it's definitely happening or anything like that. At least the weather won't be as dry, but it's going to be humid as F. Um, although I am, yeah, it would be like a 10 to 12 hour drive, as opposed to the 3-day drive from Los Angeles. And, I wouldn't do 12 hours straight. Yeah, yeah. It's definitely like driving to another country. I mean, the states are the size of countries. In a lot of the states, at least. We would, if we were to make that drive, and it would probably go the other way where people are driving to us, we would go halfway, stay in a hotel, and then go the rest of the way. But I would probably end up in Pennsylvania a lot more often than I have in the past 15 years. Yeah, it's humid over here, and Atlanta very much, sure. And then they get, like hurricane season and whatever else. I am curious to see if the humidity has any effect on my psoriasis at all. I don't know that it's gonna help, but we'll see. Like Germany or Poland or Switzerland. Sure. Yeah. Those are all 12 hours away. What else? It's and tornadoes. I wasn't sure if they got the tornado thing as much. You hear the world explode. Trying to think if there were any other factors. So the nice thing about it, assuming that they don't lowball it so much, and that I can actually, my hope, because right now when I work, it's like 3.5 weeks covers rent and bills and food and stuff like that. Like there's almost no profit being made here right now for what I'm working. My hope is that this job will at the very least be like 2 weeks will cover everything, and then we make 2 weeks profit. My ideal scenario is 1 week covers everything, or 1.5 weeks even. And then, we can chip away at our debt, and we can save a little money, I can actually build the live streaming studio I want to. And Amanda can build out like her foster cat area. So that's what we're looking for. Just they need to make an offer as far as salary, and then I'll know. But also, kind of like, you know, once I'm out there, and just see if I can find other jobs on the side to do that. I meant your hair would explode from all that humidity. Yeah, well, that would be another part of it. It's very possible that I might cut that junk off. I don't know. It's possible. Maybe you'd miss your current house. I love this house, and Amanda loves it even more. And I would miss the orange and the apricot tree. Although you can definitely grow orange trees down in Georgia for sure. The apricot trees might work too. I don't know. It would take a while. That's something we'd have to look into. There's some nice looking houses out there. We started searching last night, and like we found an area. I can't remember. It's Margareta. Shoot. Something like that. And it was like the schools were like a 9 out of 10, something like that. It was like 8s and 9s, I think. And Marietta maybe. And the commute, I mean, it's Google Maps or whatever. Or actually, it was Zillow. The commute was 26 minutes, which I'm sure that's a lowball, no traffic estimate. So I'm sure it's actually 40 minutes. But even 40 minutes wouldn't suck. I love seeing everything from your past streams of the inside of your home. Oh, right on. So like I was shocked. I was like, and it was like a 3 or 4 bedroom house maybe, and the yard was huge. But there was a lot of big, like, houses that were way affordable. Big yards, modern enough, and it looked really nice. It gives us hope. So, yeah, that would probably be the deal. And I think that's actually pretty close to where Amanda's friend lives. I think she lives in the next big city, like not big city, but the next city over. Yeah, I'd love to, if we had our own place, we'd get a rental for a year, because I'm sure you can't rent for 6 months, which would be more ideal. I'd love to just be like on a month-to-month right away. So that once September came and the contract got picked up or whatever, I'd be like, great, now we can actually buy a house. So there's a lot of that whole concept that makes it seem like it would just be ridiculous, even if they offered me basically what I'm making driving Instacart, to not do it, because just the little bit we would end up saving on rent would be that cushion, plus we would be able to, come September, the job's secure for a year. We'd be able to put a mortgage down on a house, and then we would have a house. Are you excited or nervous? Well, definitely both. I don't think that's exclusive. I think those are a bundle package. There's a big opportunity there, and there's a lot of life-changing stuff that and a lot of uncertainty. You would drive your car out there with you. So that is a point of contention between Amanda and myself. I do feel like I want my car. And it really kind of comes down to what the salary offer is. I just put $650 in this car. I think it can make the trip and continue. But Amanda also, her thoughts on this is that I would take her car with the animals, which I don't know that I want to make that drive, having to stop every 6 hours to let my dog out. I don't even know what to do with the cats. So I would take her car with the animals and drive all the way to Atlanta, and then we would have previously basically packed whatever we're saving into a storage pod, and that would get shipped, and then she would take care of whatever else in the house, and they would fly out first they're gonna go to Michigan in July, the whole month of July, and then they would fly out directly from Michigan to Atlanta from there. So, yeah. So the one thing there is I'm really not sure between the point where we've packed that storage pod to me being in Atlanta, like if they'll just store that for a month, and then once Amanda's in Atlanta with me, they'll deliver it and we can unpack it. Or if I would have to like just do it all myself, which seems like a pain in the butt. You can always stop here, take a... Oh, right. I have no idea what that path from Los Angeles to Atlanta is, but yeah, I'm sure you're not too far off that. That's something to eat. Right on. Yeah, I'll have to see how it all works out. It's such short time. It's 8 weeks, and I assume it's going to be 7 weeks before I know for a fact. And then, yeah, I don't even want to think about the driving out there part just yet until it's a little more real, actually happening, before I make that plan. Man, I have no idea. So there's a lot of stuff where it's like, exactly what do I need to save? Obviously, personal stuff, the memories and things like that. This desk, the table I have, those can go. Do I bother saving my production lights? It's $100 kit. I can buy that again. Although, I don't know. Do I save all my board games? I'll probably get rid of a bunch of the indie games that I never play. Like, it's so much. This would be the first time I would be moving out of Los Angeles. I have been in Los Angeles since January of 2000. 18 years. I think if I say this, we are all praying that it will work out. Thank you. Thanks, Evan. I'm praying it'll work out too. I do think it would open up a lot of doors, and on both a family and personal level, and on a professional level, because the chance to own a house would actually become a reality. The chance to start a live streaming studio out of that house would become way more of a reality. So I could actually have a room that I could do whatever I want. Like right now, I can basically fake it and be like, yeah, I can put a nail into a wall, but I couldn't do construction. So I could legitimately build the studio I want. Molly says, yeah, these memories, but at least it's all been on your life. Right on. Yeah, we could do whatever we wanted with our backyard. We could turn half of it into a friggin' garden, and just have a ton of vegetables and plants and stuff like that. Yeah, you definitely deserve to own a house. Thank you. I think everyone deserves to own a house. Except politicians. No, anyway, they need to learn how other people live. But it's like, it's such a hard decision on what things we really need to keep. Like, do we keep our bikes? There's just so much stuff. Where it's like, I don't know, I guess we just get rid of that. I don't really need to keep my bike. I want to, but you deserve a small freaking a freaking small farm. That would be awesome, really. But yeah, I mean, a lot of those houses had a good enough like size. They were like 2 to 3 times the yard that we have. Like we could make legitimately a suburban farm, um, if we wanted. I didn't even think about we could own chickens. I don't know that I want to own chickens. We could. Uh, I'm really kind of hoping that if this becomes a reality, there's 1 or 2 friends that I can kind of convince to move with me, which I know is a hard sell, but there is like a really good um, friend of mine, Art Tebble, who does the Kickin' Show with me when we do the podcast. His wife, has been looking to become a professor at a university or a college or something like that, and they were looking at Chattanooga, which in itself is only just over an hour away from Atlanta. So I'm like, maybe I can convince them to come to Atlanta, or at least solidify that Chattanooga plan, because that would be solid. If I could just get like one couple to move out with me, or one friend, that would be awesome. It would make this whole thing feel a lot better. And if it was Art and Jess, that would be great, because then we could continue to have our board game nights. And if they move out, there's a chance that I could sneak one other friend in there. Looking at you, Brian Cooperman. Chan. Oh, maybe I could actually convince. See, Sarah does. Chan's wife, Sarah, who I don't think we've ever really had on the show or mentioned. She does production work as well. So I think that's not a terrible sell. I could be like, you guys just moved to friggin' Atlanta, and Sarah's resume instantly becomes like a solid resume, not just like yeah, we could, I guess, hire you resume that it is here. Molly says, yeah, it's opposite of me in Tennessee, Chattanooga. You're on the west side, and they're on the east side. Right on. How far is it from one end of Tennessee to the other? Is that like an 8-hour drive? Ugh. Kind of want to take most of my board games. Feel remiss if I didn't take a good amount of them. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what to do about the car. Things like that. Like guitars. Probably want to bring those, but do I really need to save all 3 of my guitars? Do I need my amp? I never plug my electric guitar in, but if I had my own house, I would. These are decisions. Like, we have a really nice bed, which is super big and not worth lugging across the United States. 6 to 8 hours? Yeah, 8-hour drive, says Evan, is like from here to the other end of Holland. Yeah, bring your guitars. All 3? I mean, the only sure things are, my laptop, my cameras, my streaming setup. I don't know about the production lights. I feel like that's not worth bringing, and just sell them off for like $20, $50, and get new ones. Or even just give them to Chan. You can store them here. I'd still have to get them there. But I don't know. I mean, if I end up driving out, I'm not going to fill the car necessarily. I'm just going to, because I don't want to, like, if I end up driving out, I'd be stopping at like 2 or 3, maybe 4 places on the way. And I don't want to have to empty out the car every single time. Like, not a full carload. So I would just take... Plus, I'd have to have space for the animals. I would just take what fits in the trunk, basically. So So my backpack worth of stuff and, you know, maybe a camera and, I don't know, change, you know, a big change of clothes. Yeah, it would probably be like almost what I took to Los Angeles, which is a backpack with my laptop and stuff and 2 duffel bags worth of clothes. That's what I moved to LA with. That's basically what I would take on the car ride to Atlanta if it occurs, if it happens. I am concerned that they're not like super on top of making this offer to me. And I'm like, we're investing a lot of time and energy and thought into this. I'd like to know if this is a reality in the next 48 hours. Because, you know, I want some time to plan. Jeez. Yeah. Alright. Oof. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because, like, if this whole thing goes down, we'll basically be riding out our debt until, like, we're there. So it's like we've accrued quite a bit of debt over the past couple of years because I've been working so little as far as like actual work, and like we would basically max out the one credit card that we're really using and probably have to dip it because it's a 0% financing one and it's got a very big limit. We would end up maxing that out. We'd end up probably having to dip into one of the other ones that has a higher API on it, just to get by for a month or two to make all these things happen. And then we would just start chipping away at it. It is what it is. That's just how it would happen. We'll see. Yeah. You need to make talking happen. Like, make this proposal already. Alright. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I mean, I do. I just don't know if I have any other information to put into this topic at this point. It will be cool to finally get the opportunity to build the studio I want to build. Because I could really, you know, pick and choose a lot of things. And, like, also not be in a garage. Be inside the house, hardwired to the Ethernet. And go from there. Yeah. So along those lines, it's like, should I even bother getting the new computer if I'm just going to need to, in 8 weeks, take that somewhere else? Do I suffer through it for 2 months, which I guess I do, and then just have it shipped directly? Because I don't need to, yeah, I don't really need it that badly. How does Betty and Iris feel about it? Well, I mean, I don't know that Iris gets it just yet, and Betty doesn't want to move. But, you know, that's because it's the unknown, and she's not great with change. She kind of is really reluctant to change of any kind, and honestly, there's a lot of big changes coming for her in the fall anyway. So even though this is such a huge sounding change, it's kind of an insignificant one, really. Like the school change is going to be the biggest thing anyway, you know. And a week into, oh, we're in a new house, and by the way, there are trees you can climb, I think is going to be a huge thing. You know, the benefit of that is just going to be way more obvious once she's there. Plus, she'll have just been in Michigan and riding the wave of like that was awesome. So maybe that'll have some some tangible effect on her. It would be kind of cool if, uh, like the grandparents almost immediately came down to Atlanta. I think to like offset that whole awkwardness of like we're in a new place and we don't know anyone. So yeah, I mean that's something that just occurred to me right now, and I don't know how reasonable that is, but summer is right there, and they do tend to go down to Florida during the summer. So I think it's possible that within a month or two of us, of them showing up, of Betty and Amanda and Iris showing up, that then the grandparents might come for a quick visit as well, which would, I think, help. I don't know if that would be timed out before she starts school or not. But yeah, that might be good. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to think about and take in and worry about if nothing comes of it. It's like, come on, keeping me on the hook here, guys. Put some action in. Keep checking my email like suddenly something's going to appear, but a watched email never boils. Guys, take your phones out of your pots and pans. I've moved around so much in my life and worried about bills being paid by my parents so early as 7 years. Yeah, that would be cool. Right on. Yeah. I mean, this will be the first time the girls have moved at all. They've never lived anywhere else, so it would be intense. And I think timing wise, it's I feel like timing wise, it's better for them to move this early, as long as we can stay there for a while. Like I moved when I was 3. So same as Iris. And then again when I was early teen, 13 maybe? And that, 3, I don't remember anything from the house before or the moving process really at all. And 13 was like kind of a big deal, but at the same time, 6 months to a year in, I'd made all my friends, and I knew more or less knew who I was, and I was good. Although it was really like the year after that things were really solid, but whatever. Nearly 40 times, holy crap! That's too many times, Molly. But how many times have you moved to different states? Well, how many times? Let's put it this. How many times have you moved, like 4 hours away or more? Because I think once you're, well, actually more like 2 hours away. I don't know. Like if you're still in the same general area, it's just a pain in the butt. It's just there's a lot of stuff that has to happen in the physical thing, but you still have all those friends and connections. Like Amanda has a really good friend who also happens to be, her daughter happens to be Betty's, possibly her best friend. And they're both kind of freaking out about, Amanda and Bridget are both kind of freaking out about it. You were almost born in Canada? Right on, Evan. And rightfully so. But, this would put me way closer to a best friend I haven't seen in, since my wedding. So 6 years. Since I got on my own, only 4 times. Right. Okay. So that's still a lot. Not terrible, but still a lot. Oh, think about that. This will be our wedding anniversary is early July. That would be a weird surprise. Well, it's not a surprise, but I got you a new life. Blah. Lot of ifs and hopes here, so we'll just have to keep on it and see what happens, and keep checking my email. Come on, dude. Send me an email. Guess I should reply to that one where he sent me the address of the studio. Yeah, the last email he sent me was just like, here's the address of the studio, and it would start July 1st or sooner, and I'll get back to you with more stuff. I do want to ask him one question. They sent the job description, which is literally like copy and pasted from the first time they ever, had this job, I assume, and it's a lot of technical BS where it's like, on paper, I've done this job. I have substituted for the guy that, because this is not a job that's that I've actually done, but I've filled in. But on paper, if you showed this to me, I'd be like, I have no idea what this is, and I don't think I can do it. But I've done the job. So it's like, unless they're changing it up a whole lot, this is just a lot of BS that they've technically written out in technical talk. Well, he says from California, Mexico to Tennessee, and then twice, yeah, in Tennessee. So I'm done moving forever. I feel ya. I always kind of feel that way. I hate moving. Moving is tiresome and a pain in the butt. And it's like, you get all this stuff. And then you're like, I've invested emotions and memories in this stuff. This crappy card table that my computer is on, and this desk that's really worthless and I don't need. I'm just gonna get rid of it all. What's the point? Why have things at all? Anyway. All right, I'm just replying to this email to try and get this guy on the ball here. Wham. All right. But yeah, it is a bizarrely scary and exciting possibility. I felt pretty amazed that we could rent this house. The thought that we could buy and own a house twice as big with a yard 3 times as big is kind of unreal. So, we'll see. Chris has moved too much as well in his childhood days and never wants to move ever again. I've been happy this is permanent. I feel ya. Yeah, like Amanda's pretty sure we'll come back to Los Angeles, and I'm half of the notion that, yeah, that'd be great, and I would love to, if we suddenly had just vast amounts of money. But at the same time, I hate moving. I don't want to move again. Um, so it's like if we go and we build up a house, I kind of that could be it. We could be Georgians. I'd have to talk like this, I guess. I don't know. It's the thing. I'll pick it up. I'm sure. I'll get my waffles from a house. I'll get my Pigglies and my Wigglies from a supermarket. They have those there, right? Piggly Wiggly and Waffle House. I think I got that down. They got Trader Joe's over there? Maybe. I'll pay $2 for an avocado. I don't care. Sounds more like a Texas accent. Yep. I gotta get my southern right. Y'all. I'll just start saying y'all a lot. I'm gonna get lynched. Anyway. Going from oranges to peaches. I mean, they got oranges down south in Georgia and Florida. I mean, more so in Florida, but I think you can grow an orange tree in there. But yeah, I'll definitely make sure I have a peach tree. I'm gonna miss the apricot tree. Good God, that thing is delicious. When I don't know, I really think I'm gonna know within the week, and if not sooner, like 2 days. I feel like I know, like a friend of mine, because they just asked me yesterday because I was there. But a friend of mine said that they need to know his answer today. So I feel like it's going to happen really quick. And it's just that they're doing a show right now. Actually, it's 2 o'clock. They're basically done for the day. So this dude should be emailing me. Not that dude. That's someone different. You don't have to be Southern because I'm not, and everything is okay here. Do you think Tennessee is more liberal than Georgia, though? I feel like Georgia is, second only to Alabama and Mississippi, so third. I'm really a little concerned about the sort of the temperature there, if you will. I'm not talking about the heat index. I don't know. I haven't paid a lot of attention to Georgia in the past few years, so who knows? Maybe they're better. And it's a big city, so it's more of a melting pot. There's probably a more liberal atmosphere there. You get, people from all over, although we would be in the suburbs, so who knows? We'll see. So yeah, if we did get a house, obviously we'd be renting for a little while, if like a year or so. But the girls could each get their own bedroom, which it's about time. They're kind of all over each other in that room, and they're depending on the night, keeping each other up. Mostly it's Iris keeping Betty up, but then Betty will do things like prompt Iris to like leave the room and like annoy us and stuff like that. So I think that would be a big help. Having multiple bathrooms would be super amazing. We're living in a 1-bathroom house with 4 people, and it is starting to get bad enough. And Iris has her own potty. So it's like we need at least another bathroom, if not, you know, a 2.5 bathroom more house going on from here. Because by the time they're teenagers, if we're still in the same place that long, that's gonna get crappy real quick. It'd be super cool if we could, you know, I have my own studio. Amanda had her own room for projects like sewing and whatnot. If we could get, you know, like a basement area or a room for the girls to have sort of their own space, and a kitten area, and a big backyard. That's all I need. More than that would be amazing, but yeah, like 4 bedrooms, 2 offices, 3 bathrooms, and a basement. Or, you know, an attic that's actually, like, finished or whatever. Either a basement or an attic that you can do stuff in. Either one of those would be good. I don't think the girls have ever been in a basement or an attic, because all the houses in Los Angeles, like 99% of the houses in Los Angeles, are all 1-story, like ranch-style houses. So they're going to be like, what do you mean we can go under the house? Like, what are you talking about? Well, what's under there? Yeah, if we could get a finished basement, that'd be super cool. Although I'm sure that's not as common in a place that gets hurricanes, because of flooding. I remember Pennsylvania, and yeah, that's not always a great idea. So, finished loft, attic. That's probably better. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, there's some pretty cool looking stuff. Come on, Lee. Reply to that email. Nope. This could be it. Could happen live on the air. So yeah, as far as the job goes, unless, you know, I'm not 100% sure it's going to be exactly the same as the one I've done for them here. It might be on a different system. It might be some other, I'm sure, because of the nature of this production, they tend to compound things. So like when I was working there for my position, I started as a logger, and I moved on up to media coordinator, which then they like would fire people and give other people those jobs. So like so I started as media coordinator, and then suddenly I started having to man the DVR, and you know, editing the show promos and things like that. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they're like, yeah, this is the exact job, except also it's this other job. But we'll see. We'll see. You know, I'm sure he'll tell me. I asked him just now. I was like, is it going to be the same job, same system, or are they changing it and stuff? Because, like, the job description is way too technical and makes itself vague that way. But if it is, it's a pretty chill job. I remember from more than a decade ago, yeah. The job itself is like, it's not that stressful. I mean, if things go wrong, it's a little stressful. But I've got it pretty much down. I got it pretty covered. It's like an 8-hour job. So here, it goes from 6 to 1:30. But we're, you know, 3 hours back. So there, I assume it's going to be the same. It's just going to be 9 to 4:30, which is pretty standard, pretty typical, you know, shift. But I would actually be able to do some stuff in the afternoon, and possibly even in the, you know, in the morning before it all, which would give me time to do some either evening streaming or early morning streaming over there. So that'd be nice if I could get back into a daily streaming habit. I wouldn't have to do Instacart. I don't even know if they have Instacart over there. Although I might, if they do, I might actually do it a little bit just to like try and offset the debt. We'll see. It's too much to think about. Okay. What is the time difference? Is a 3-hour time difference from the West Coast to the East Coast. So it is 2 o'clock here. It is 5 o'clock there. Yeah, the production starts. I don't even know if I'd have to get there at 6 a.m. I think part of that is just the setup. Yeah, maybe the weekends or something. Yeah, I don't know. For Instacart, maybe. I might just do it occasionally on a lark. I'm bored. I'm gonna do it for 4 hours. Make $20. I have a feeling the Atlanta rate is probably a lot less than the Los Angeles rate. There are different zones for Instacart, and each zone has like a delivery rate. So the zones accessible to me are San Fernando Valley East, San Fernando Valley West, and North Valley. And the difference between North Valley and East is like, on the high peak day, it's something like a $6 delivery difference. Where maybe it's even 7. So like, yeah, I almost never take the East Valley anymore. West Valley's somewhere in the middle, but North Valley is the best. So, and I can't see, it won't let me look to see what the rates in Atlanta are. I have to actually be there and turn my phone on to get the information, because it's all geo tagged. My voice is starting to run dry. I ran out of coffee. I should go make more coffee. But we'll see if that's even worth doing. Might not be. I think Amanda's coming home soon. I wonder if they're in there already. I'm just going to peek my head outside the garage. I'll be back in like seconds. Not yet. Nope, not yet at all. Oh, mama. Oh, my frame rate is above 10. That's nice. Alright. So I've brought the resolution down a considerable amount. There's another setting that affects the amount of CPU it uses. I can't tell if I want more or less of that. I'm going to fool around with those settings next time. I gotta make a note to remind myself to do it. Only do that. But I also want to try Amanda's computer and see how well it handles OBS. So I was talking about the kitten cam issue earlier with Mob Crush and how Facebook was sending a sort of kill signal. And then I finally figured that out, and I got a stream that didn't end after 4 hours, and it went on for 41 hours. It has been processing on YouTube for about 30 of those hours now. And it is still processing. I have a feeling it'll just time out eventually and be like, there's no archive to this. So I'm like, what is ideal? Do I want to just create a system where every 4 hours I'm creating a new live stream? Which, I don't know, Like, how important is it to archive the kitten cam versus having it continue? Because I feel like if it goes longer and it gets more views, it ranks higher in people's feeds and whatnot. I don't know. I don't have enough data to support this theory. I kind of feel like maybe the way I should do it is definitely do the Facebook on a separate stream. Like I get an old iPhone to stream the Facebook itself, and then run all the other stuff via Mob Crush for like, I don't know, a 12-hour span. So twice a day I'm starting new streams. I don't know. I don't know. Figure it out. I have to play around with that and see. Because I think having the YouTube archive is kind of helpful. But also I could just, you know, probably be recording to a local drive at the same time. Yeah. And then I just have that footage available to me. I don't know. It's like, I want to figure this out, but really, I don't want to invest any more thought process on things until I know what the hell's going on with life. Speaking of which, I'm going to jump in, because I'm on Facebook right now for this. How long have I been live? Just over an hour? Alright. I never shared this. Oh, no, wait. Yeah. This automatically shares to my personal feed and not to my fan page because of some other weird issue Mob Crush is having with reading my fan pages. Like, it's getting, or at least it thinks it's pulling access to a page I deleted and a page that I'm no longer an admin on. But it doesn't have access to the SamProof fan page, so I don't know. I don't know what's happening there. I've mentioned it twice to people over there, and nothing's happened. Oh, Mom left comments that apparently I never saw. Will watch as many as I can. Okay, where's that other comment? Mom, you still out there? Oh, this was from 42 minutes ago. I am still on. No, but not in that particular stream. Is she? Where's the live one? Is this the live one? No. Oh, it was live an hour ago. No. Maybe I should tag her in the actual one. Okay. I can't find it. So, never mind. Alright, Evan. I might be out of here by the time you're done with that. So I might just be on Discord. Okay. Why is finding my own stuff so hard? Okay, here we go. There's my page, or my profile. Alright, I'm going to tag. Oh no, my mom can see this. She tagged it at least. Alright, I don't know if she's still with me, but I'm going to hit a like on that. But, I'm going to... Can I even tag from the phone? I feel like you can't do that. Oh, no, you can. Alright. Okay. I'm getting sleepy. There's a lot of changes that could be happening to us. You can't talk about. Sure, I understand that. Until I know what's going on. Yeah, I feel like that. I kind of just needed to talk about it, even though I don't have too many details to actually talk about at this point. I was just bringing up the Mob Crush on the phone because it's slightly easier to read the chat there. How far back does the chat go? All I can say is it's work-related. Well, fingers crossed, and I hope that's a good work-related thing that is, you know, going to benefit the both of you. But cool. We'll stand by for updates. I am going to run off for 1 minute to the little boy's room, and to make it seem less awkward, I'm going to hit the intro again so that there's motion on the screen, and then I will be right back. Standing, click. Back. Okay. I had a thought, and that's what it was. I was going to work on my board for my schedule. See what I can erase and what I can add. Oh, I should have brought the spray can so I could erase this better. It's been on here for too long and does not want to come off of the whiteboard. Right, there we go. I also discovered that if I this is like one of these markers that you write over the thing and then you can erase. It's basically alcohol or something. It takes off the lines that are on the board already. So that is not going to happen. That doesn't work very well. But also apparently just parts where regular marker was on here takes off the lines. So those lines are just doomed to come off, I guess. That's a shame. This was $5. Oh no, what did I do? I should write the right thing. 13. Okay. Set up that. Do spy. No. Is that a thing I was supposed to do? No. Oh, I did that. Yeah, okay. I can get rid of all this. Yeah, like, do I ship whiteboards to Atlanta? Probably not. I guess we have a big garage sale, and anything that's like, do we or don't we see if it sells. And if it doesn't, then we really consider what the hell we're doing with the thing. Like, I mean, honestly, whiteboards don't take up very much space, but also they're like $10. But like, how much money are we going to spend replacing stuff that we get rid of? You know, we got to get a bed or 4, 3. How many people are we? I mean, maybe we do get 4 because guest room. Because if we actually have a dedicated room for people to come visit us, we definitely have those people that are going to be visiting. You know, they come. We get visitors 3, 4 times a year, sometimes more. And if we're that close, we're probably sure to get them more. So I guess we do get another bed. It feels like we're going to spend so much money rebuilding. It's crazy. I think Amanda just texted me or something. What was that? Why did my phone vibrate? I see nothing. What was that? 12:44 now. Okay, checking the email. Yeah. My laptop. Automatic connected to my Bluetooth speaker in my bathroom. Nice. Well, at least it was me and not you know what. And it was in your bathroom and not just outside randomly. What was that movie? Oh, did you ever see that show Love on Netflix? Because that happens on that show. It's awkward. Alright. Things for May that need to happen. What day is today? The 7th? Blam, 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 blam. It's alright. My friend... I have a couple friends that I've went through Upright Citizens Brigade that are on it, but one of my friends, Paul, is like the main character. And I think it's probably something he created, like he wrote. Okay. Oh, whoops, I wrote that in the wrong place. Today is the 8th. Molly is correct. That's this day. It is Tuesday. For the tizzle. And then Sunday is Mother's Day. That goes on the board. Any other important May? Yeah, there's lots of important May stuff. My birthday, May 24th, Thursday. Betty's birthday is the 31st. Oh, when is her birthday party gonna be? Is it the 26th? And what is this? Oh man, so many things on here. Okay, so Amanda works on the 18th. Okay. I need a pen that I can write smaller words with. This is too thick. 18. Okay. Oh, her party is on the 28th? Hang on. Did I do something here that these are on different... How did these get laid out differently? Did I skip a number? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Oh, I did it wrong in my planner. That sucks. Now I have to ask Amanda things. So I'm guessing her birthday is actually, her birthday party is actually on the 27th. Yeah, sleeping is sucky lately. Plus the girls are both having terrible times sleeping themselves. Okay. Just realized we have like some kind of event. I think it's Friday night. You having problems sleeping too, Evan? I think it's then. Okay, Amanda. I don't even know what this is, but 12 to 4. I guess she's doing a kitten event. Okay, that's all of that. What's been keeping you up, Evan? Your brain or just other stuff? Damn brains ain't no good. Oh, speaking of brains, I kind of have this secret hope that if we do move to Atlanta, I can revive the Pizza Games and Zombies podcast and start having regular guests from The Walking Dead on the podcast. So I think that would be amazing. And they're right there. I gotta see where they film. Like what part. Brain workhouse car. Yeah, that'll do it. Let's see if I can figure that out. They're in Atlanta, but Atlanta's kind of a big city. Could be any part of Atlanta. I'm going to do some stuff on the computer. It could make the stream flakier. I would totally consider, as long as the school system's good enough, like specifically moving right into the neighborhoods they film in. Shows fiction in Sonoya. Now, they're south of Atlanta. Where is that? Let's see. Although that's from last year, so that might not be accurate to where they are right now. That's down to 74. I'll look that up another time. I'm probably winding the stream down really soon because my brain and my throat are like, I don't want to be talking no more. It's been over 2 hours or so with the combined streams. I do have some other work I need to get at least a solid start on before the girls get home, which is probably imminently happening. So yeah. But hopefully I will have another show-based stream next week. And I think streaming a little bit on Mother's Day perhaps, and or Saturday. Not sure. But definitely next Tuesday. Tuesday is my dedicated. So thank you for joining me. Thanks for hanging out, guys. And I will be jumping over to the Discord momentarily. I'm probably going to run off, make some lunch, and then I'll be in there. But I assume Evan is going to attempt to go to sleep. So I'll see you over there, Molly. I don't think Meech ever made it back, but Meech, you should be in the Discord more. That's all. And as always, stay strong. And if you're watching this in archive form, head over to discord.me/SamProof and join us to continue the conversation over there. My dog wants to go inside, I think. All right. Goodbye, guys. See you on Discord. Hang in there, Sam. I'll be praying. Thanks, Molly. All right. I got it. Bye, Evan. I'll see you. I'll be on the Discord. Bloop. Oh, and there's a second button. Always a second button.